are you doing?
Um, Doing all right, man. I'm holding it down. Just real quick before we get started. Disclaimer to anyone who is new to this series or watching this. Just want to let you know that this is probably going to be the last episode, the last installment of Serious Talks. Pretty much, I want to leave a lot of things behind, my older stuff of what I did in the past. I would like to also preface this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
This series is different. If you guys want to check it out, anyone who's new watching this, click on the cue card on the corners, the top right corner of the video, or the description. I have, including this one, 10 episodes out. So if you're curious of what this series is about, it's just like a chill podcast where I answer questions and serious topics from the world we live in, things of that nature. My thoughts and opinions. It's definitely different from my normal videos, but this is going to be the last one, so don't worry, I'm not going to contaminate your feed.
That's good to hear. How are you holding up?
I'm alright. I'm ready whenever you are.
Alright. Global warming. What do you think about that?
What do I think about that?
Yeah. Anything that comes to mind when you hear those words?
Well, it's not a good word, but I can't say it's not bad to understand it. But I guess the main issue with global warming, or what do I think about it, is societal downfall, the world ending, um, stuff like that. You know, things that we don't think of that will destroy the world. We think, social media and diseases like COVID is going to destroy the world. Well, global warming is one of those things that I think of that could take down the Earth. Because the Earth is such a finite of natural beauty, and we definitely contaminated that's for sure. But, things I think of global warming is also like beautiful things like giant sequoia trees and geysers and the beauty of a park, being out at a park, walking down the sidewalk in the Australian forest, which I hope I never go to. Yeah, it's weird. I don't ever want to go there. Got spiders as giant as my head.
That's for damn sure.
That's the things that pop up in my head. All the beautiful nature of the world just crumbling as we speak. As if the world did a Thanos snap and the world is just falling bit by bit, uncontrollably. We can't do nothing about it. No amount of technology or human resources will be able to save us from this global devastation. That's what I think. Hopefully that answers your question. I think of people not taking things serious when I think about global warming. I think of like this is like predestined, like the end times, as they say in the Bible. Stuff like that, where longevity is not always long. They say good things don't last forever, right? Maybe this is what they were talking about. Maybe that's a prophecy that some people have already seen from the beginning of the times, back in 80 or BC. That's what I think of. The end of humanity.
What are the main issues with the world?
A lot, you know, humanity and the way we live in our mind, emotions, mind of a human. To be honest, the question you asked me earlier made me really question if global warming is an issue. It is an issue, but maybe in a different perspective, it's not an issue. Maybe that was supposed to happen, you know. Maybe global warming was supposed to. This was like a natural effect, like I was saying earlier. Maybe this was supposed to happen, and maybe humans just further the progression of it, sped up the progression. But I think the human mind is an element of its own that I feel like we understand, but since we're the strongest creatures in this dimension, I don't think we can fix it, you know. But the mind and the way we move and the way we think is a problem, you know, because people get caught up with their own emotions. Sometimes their own perspective locks them, limits them from growing, or limits them from seeing another perspective that may help them to grow or think a different light, you know. And sometimes I feel like the idea of basic moral concepts, the idea of what is already tradition, is an issue, you know, of the human mind. It always limits our perspective. You know, a wise man once told me, you know, people can't change unless they change for the better. People are always changing for the worse, but a lot of people don't change for the better. And whether that's a good statement or not, or that's a question to be asked, it's just like, why does it matter if people can't change, you know? Some people are so caught up in that. Some people only change to do a better version than themselves right now, you know? So why does that matter? It's just this mindset. It's what's causing problems to the world. Social media and the effects of that, how that ties into global warming, how that ties into pollution, greed, and emotion. You know, I don't know if you know anything about NFTs.
I dabble a little bit in there. I mean, I definitely got stuck in Ethereum.
Yeah, and I hear a lot of people do. But did you know that Ethereum is powered?
Yeah, I would assume so, yeah.
Well, you know how much power Ethereum needs in order to work?
No, not much.
A whole country's worth, even more, because Ethereum is pretty much, if you don't know, like Ethereum's a blockchain, and a blockchain is a pretty much an open bank account, open bank, where everyone can see your transactions and everything. And so NFTs are like non-fungible tokens, non-refundable. You can't get them, you can't replace it ever digitally, which is weird because, you talk about putting value in materialistic things. Now you're putting value in digital things that you don't even own. You don't really even own. It's, you know what I mean? But as humans, and that amount of power being transmitted into the world, all those power plants to just fuel a blockchain is just further increasing, you know what I mean? I mean, we could talk about the main issues of global warming, but that is an example of humans are one of the main reasons why this world has issues. But again, you never know. Maybe this was meant to happen. And maybe we just don't know.
Do you think we will prevail through these global problems?
I would like to think. I don't exactly know, but I would like to think. I think that's the good thing and the beauty of being a human is you just have hope. You always have optimism and you just hope things go in your path, your way. Always, It's kind of like, people talk about world hunger. I would like to think that everyone will be able to be fed and taken care of. But do I honestly believe it will happen? I don't think so. Maybe not in this time period, or maybe not when I'm alive. You know, maybe not in this century. But at this point, social media and the influences of teenage minds and things of that nature, I don't know. I was watching this video. It's called, I forgot what it was called, but it's like Humanity's in Danger, something like that. It's by Mr. Who's the Boss on YouTube. And he was putting out some good points about how if we don't know how to control social media and know how to control these problems that pretty much came with this internet age, we may not know how to control the problems that may occur because it's developing at a faster rate, with global issues and things of that nature, wars, outcry, inept adults, undisciplined children, global pollution, countries with no food, countries with polluted water, more diseases, outbreak, war, things of that nature. It's all tied together at some point. And the problem with this world and the problem with some people is we're not being taught what to do in this. We don't know the right or the wrong. And technically speaking, there is really no right or wrong. We just develop right or wrongs until we go through a problem. After we go through a problem. Isn't that crazy? 9/11, we needed 9/11 in order to beef up the security at airports. We needed disease in order to make vaccines. And, we needed the light bulb because we can't see in the dark. But like I was saying, in order to see in the light, why wouldn't we need a light bulb if we really don't have darkness, why would we need love if there's no hatred? Like I was saying on episode 3, I believe. It's just these things all play. This is how the world works. It's a variety, but the variety is balanced. You can't have too much of one without the other. And that's why I believe that, yes, we can prevail, but unfortunately, we can't prevail the way we want it. We have to prevail a different way. a way where it's more controlled. If I truly believe if we could see the problems with social media, see the problems of this new internet age, and make sure the next generation of kids understand, then we can prevail. But at this rate, I just don't have the answer, man.
Last question, but not least, man. What can we do now?
I don't know, man. It's kind of like voting, and I know politics is a sensitive topic, but I try to promise myself not to get too deep into politics. You could vote, and that is the right thing to do, but you gotta know your situation, Going back to the world hunger problem, we can try, but, if it is what it is, and it is what it is. I think the good thing is to understand the problem, understand the great and the danger of it and the threat level. Understand it clearly. Once you acknowledge it, that's all that matters. Once you understand it and acknowledge it, that's all that matters. But other than that, just if you don't understand it or acknowledge it, you're trying to do something else with it, on something unrealistic, then you get nowhere, If you understand that you can't save everyone in the world by feeding them, and you can't even really feed everybody in the world. You could try. That's good. But once you understand that you can't, at least you know that you gave a shot. You gave a shit. You actually threw your shot, and if it didn't land, it didn't land. The whole point is not dying knowing that you didn't even try. And I think that's the problem with some people. People don't understand that. You gotta try, because I think it's better than not trying. So simple things like, okay, let's not use the energy too much. Let's not, as far as for global warming, I don't know. I guess you just knowing your situation, or maybe an electric car is the best wave. So you don't have to be a victim of burning fossil fuels, or don't participate in NFTs, or raise your kid correctly. Maybe he won't be a douchebag and a loser when he grows up. Maybe he'll be smart and he knows what he needs to do in order to further human progression. I don't know. All I say is that what we can do now is focus on what we are passionate about. Focus on the best version of ourselves. People worry too much about outcomes and the journey to that. We just gotta do what we can do now. If we are who we are, we are who we are. I don't think we can change that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the fact that we can't change. I feel like maybe it's just, once we understand it, we can truly be the best version of ourselves. Wise man also once said, instead of trying to do better, why don't you just do your best? It's only when then you'll be able to do better. A lot of people complain, talk about this, talk about that, but let's be realistic, man. The world's going to shit. What can you do about it? Sooner or later, there's going to be Wi-Fi modems in the street lights. And Elon Musk has already developed Neuralink chips in our brains. There's going to be people who push the world and adapt to it. But we got to find people who are willing to fight against people who are trying to mess up the balance. We always need the good and the bad. But when people try to weigh too much on the good or weigh too much on the bad, it fucks up the feng shui. So I think we just gotta do who we are meant to be. We're gonna have those people who are bad. It's okay. We gotta do who we wanna be, do what we are destined to be. Don't try to change that. Don't give up on that. Ever.
Any last words? You know, this is it, man. This is the last episode.
Well, thank you for taking your time.
No problem. My pleasure. Thank you for being here, doing this.
Anytime. Just want to say to all the people who are listening, thank you. If you are day one and been listening to these episodes, appreciate you. But this is the end of a saga for me, I guess. You know, these serious talks. Who knows? Maybe I might bring it back up. I don't know. We'll see about it, man. But for now, thank you for taking your time to listen to these. Thank you for just being you. Keep being you, man. Don't let anyone tell you what you can or cannot do. Gotta understand your world, man. Always.